Good Thursday evening, everybody. It is Thursday, July 16th, 2020. I'm Jeremy Crosby. Welcome to another edition of Talking Fitchburg. Hope you had a wonderful day out there. I know I did. It was a busy day at Fact TV. Lots of different things going on today. Boy, oh boy, we have a busy show for you today. I don't even get to tell you about Andrew or anything. I just got to get going here. We'll get you up on the latest headlines, including distribution of masks in Dane County. We'll tell you how to get one in just a bit. And then we'll check in with my friend Tiffany over at the Better Business Bureau, showing you that employment scam. A lot of people are looking for employment. We want to make sure you don't get into a scam and lose out on money or your information, personal information. In his grilling month, we'll check in with our friend Andrea over at Hy-Vee. We hit the road, in fact, and we'll be sharing some really good recipes today. She teaches us how to use a plank and pouches. Yeah, if you haven't done this before, it is amazing. And I can already tell you, since we filmed that segment, I've already gone out and bought a plank. Just telling you. That's what it is. Let's get right into the headlines here. We start with the assessment notice. Want to make sure you know this is coming. Assessment notice will be mailed out this week. The purpose of the assessment is to assure that all property in the city is valued fairly and equitably as required by law. Many individuals, such as property owners, prospective buyers, appraisers, real estate agents, builders, and companies, and title companies, the government agencies may utilize this information for various reasons. If you have any questions about your assessment, you're encouraged to contact the assessing department. Open book is an informal appeal process. Open book will be held weekdays, July 22nd through August 7th from 7:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Due to COVID-19, open book meetings will be held via phone. If property owners would like to discuss their assessments, they should contact the assessing department. That number is 270-4235. And you can see the assessment roll in person located at City Hall by scheduling an appointment with the assessing department. And you see the assessed values can also be located at Dane County's website of accessdane.countyofdane.com. And remember, Board of Review is the formal appeal process. Board of Review is scheduled for Friday, September 18th at 9 a.m. Property owners should contact the Clerk's Department at 270-4200 no later than 48 hours prior to the start of the Board of Review to give intent of the appeal. All right, McKee Road closure is happening tonight. Kicks off at 11 p.m. Goes till 4 a.m. tomorrow morning. This is for the eastbound McKee Road, and again closed at 11 p.m. You can see on the map here you have a detour to get around that project. Also want to remind you, absentee voting for August 11th partisan primary, you can do drive-up service. Yeah, schedule service via curbside from Tuesday, July 28th through Thursday, August 6th from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. and Friday, August 7th, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Please call to schedule your appointment. The clerk's office is 270-4200, and please indicate your preference. If it is curbside, no appointments will be available after 4:15 on those days. Make sure you bring a photo ID and black ballpoint pen to mark up your ballot. All right, Dane County purchases and hands out 100,000 free masks to local organizations during the COVID-19 pandemic. It was announced that Dane County Executive Joe Parisi joined the Department of Emergency Management and Community Partners to highlight the community-wide effort now underway to help ensure county residents have access to face masks during the COVID-19 pandemic. The Department of Emergency Management is in the process of handing out 1,000 masks to community partners, with about 65,745 of those masks already out in the community as of already. Thus far, Dane County has spent $150,000 on masks to keep residents safe and has partnered with nearly 100 organizations to distribute them. We have the links. You can find out exactly who has them. Just head to our website. Well, when Andrew posts up the link on our Facebook page, we will get those posted up for you. All right, that does it for our headlines. Coming up next, we're opening up the digest. Yeah, we're bringing back our scams related to employment. Yeah, there's employment scams out there, and we want to make sure that you don't get scammed. We'll bring that back to you next right here on Talking Fitchburg.
I got smart about saving for college. And now my daughter's off to a great start.
When it comes to your money, whatever you want to get smart about, you can find at smartaboutmoney.org.
We got smart about loans.
And sign here. Now it's our house we're going home to.
I got smart about preparing for those Unexpected challenges. Now I know at least my finances will be healthy.
Smart About Money is a free online resource. We are a non-commercial, non-profit organization dedicated to helping people just like you get information about money. For everything from how to build an emergency fund to how to deal with job uncertainty, smartaboutmoney.org has the answers you've been looking for.
I got smart about credit.
Would you like paper or plastic?
Now paper or plastic has a whole new meaning.
Smartaboutmoney.org, the easy place to start when you want to get smart about your finances.
When I have an asthma attack, I feel scared. Sometimes my parents have to take me to the hospital. I feel like a fish with no water.
You know how to react to their asthma attacks. Here's how to prevent them. Call 1-866-NO-ATTACKS. Visit www.noattacks.org or call your doctor. Because even one attack is one too many.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back into Talking Fitchburg. Today, we're joined by my favorite person from the Better Business Bureau. It's Tiffany Schultz. And Tiffany, you're back today talking about employment scams. Employment scams are kind of an interesting dynamic, and it hits. Unfortunately, it hits people that are very vulnerable, that may be looking for jobs in a crunch. And given everything that's been going on with the pandemic, certainly these scams are probably even increased, as we've seen across the board with scams. So tell us how these employment scams work.
Employment scams are targeting a large percentage of people, and even more so now that we're in a pandemic and consumers are losing their jobs and looking for new jobs, and it's ripe for scammers to take advantage of these people. And in employment scams, they were the #1 scam in 2018 and 2019 nationwide, and there's a good chance they're going to be the top scam again in 2020 as well. So scammers target their victims through online ads. They target them through third-party websites. So if you're browsing third-party websites, you really need to pay attention to what you're applying for. If you're applying for a position, it's a very vague position. The requirements are very vague. It could be a fake job posting. What you want to do when you're applying for these jobs is to cross-reference the job. Go to the company website and make sure that you're checking the company website as well to see if the job is posted. If it's not posted, you're in doubt, call the company. Make sure you're applying for an open position. That's a good way to guarantee that you're not going to get sucked into one of these employment scams.
Yeah, have you heard of more of these being like targeted with working at home versus going to a brick and mortar place? So, it's like work from home and make X amount of money and never leave your couch, It sounds too good to be true. Is that where we're seeing a lot of the targeting, or is it kind of spread the wealth?
We're seeing 53% of the scams targeting people who are looking for work at home positions, warehouse redistribution positions, and secret shopper positions. Work from home, flexible positions are the #1 way that scammers are targeting their victims, because people want to work at home. They want to have that flexibility, and they see a great opportunity and they don't even think before they go ahead and apply. Now, a lot of these positions are going more remote. Because of the pandemic, and companies are realizing that you can work from home, but you still need to be very careful and research the company to make sure that you're really applying for a real position.
Yeah, I would definitely say if it sounds too good to be true, and I think you've heard this too, Tiffany, many times, it's probably not a good thing. What are some other ways we can avoid these scams?
Well, people not only get caught in employment scams by providing personal information, sometimes they do end up working for a company that seems to be real. So they're giving their hard-earned time and not getting any payment. So you really need to watch out for those. And you also want to be careful not to get stuck in a fake check scam. Sometimes a company will so-called hire you. They'll send you a check to purchase equipment and training materials. Well, once you get that check, you cash it, and then it turns out to be a fake check. Not only are you out a job, but you're also out the money that you've cashed the check for, and you may have put money into equipment that you don't need. So you really want to pay attention to that as well.
Yeah, I've heard of those of you have to pay to work, up front, and just never sounds right to me. So not a very good idea. Looking at the job description as well, I like the tips there on researching the company. I bet you have a tool for researching companies, Tiffany.
You can check us out on bbb.org. You can find out anything you need to about the company. If the information that you find is very vague on a company, if you can't find it on bbb.org, if you're not getting a lot of information, proceed cautiously. That's usually a red flag that there's more to the story.
And then do you, I'm sure, I know the answer to this question, but how important is it to report these things to not only BBB, state, Wisconsin police, that really helps you guys and others find these scammers?
Extremely. If you're caught in an employment scam, if you're aware of an employment scam or any type of scam, go ahead and report that to us at bbb.org/scam tracker. That helps our efforts in warning other consumers, and other people don't have to be a victim. So it's so important. You may think that, oh, somebody else has already reported it. That's great, but you need to report it too. bbb.org/scam tracker is your friend.
Yeah, absolutely. Tiffany, thank you so much for the time and the information. Appreciate it. And we'll check back with you soon on more safety tips. Love them.
Thanks for having me.
All right. There you have it. Got to do your homework, definitely, when you're checking out these jobs. And again, I think if it's too good to be true, it's probably fake. All right, we'll take a quick break. More to come. You're watching Talking Fitchburg.
One theft every 6.5 minutes. 156 thefts every day. Here's a shout out to the more than 57,000 drivers who admittedly made it easy for the thieves last year. 57,000 who left the keys in their vehicle and had it stolen. Lock it before you leave it. Don't make it easy for the thief. If you know something about vehicle theft or insurance fraud, call us at 1-800-TEL-NICB. A public service message from the National Insurance Crime Bureau.
Hi, I'm Matt Martin, and in all my years of playing professional hockey, I've gotten my share of bruises and injuries. But for many who really put their lives on the line every day, it's not always the injuries you can see that hurt the most. I'm talking about our veterans. Every single day, 184 veterans are diagnosed with post-traumatic stress, and tragically, 20 take their own lives. When medications and therapy don't help, professionally trained service dogs can. American Humane, serving the U.S. military for over 100 years, has put together a free guide to help veterans obtain these life-saving service animals. If you are a veteran or know a veteran struggling with PTS, please go to AmericanHumane.org for this free, downloadable resource. Let's give our veterans the help they need to win their battle.
The following is a public service announcement test to determine if you need a fishing license and boat registration before you head out on the water. Let us begin. Are you your own boat? Is this your idea of fishing with friends? Do you want this in your favorite lake? Ick. Regardless how you answered, you need to be licensed and registered. Do your part at takemefishing.org.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back into Talking Fitchburg. I am out of the house, out of Fitchburg, technically, but we are here with Andrea Miller from Hy-Vee, registered dietitian and RFAC TV dietitian. I'm just dedicating you to that, whether you knew that or not. We appreciate it. Oh my gosh, you have set up the coolest stuff here today.
Yes.
And this is right up my alley. I am a grill fan like no other.
Great.
So very excited to try some of this, but we're talking about pouches and planks, which is pretty cool. So we're going to start with the plank side here, and you've got some things cooking here that look really, really, really good.
Yes.
So tell us what we're going to be doing today.
Yes, so one of the things that we're going to be doing, the first thing we're going to be doing is we are going to be using fruit as a plank. So traditionally, wood is often used for planks when you're grilling, but you can use fruit like this thick cut pineapple for an actual plank. So what I'm going to do, I have this salmon, this piece of salmon that's been sitting in marinade, and I'm going to, as you can see, the pineapple is nicely grilled. I'm going to add this right to the top.
And so what does this do? What does a plank do?
Yes. So the plank is giving the meat a little bit of elevation, okay, which is good. In this case, it's really nice for lean cooking or lean protein cooking because it keeps it off the grill where it can often stick, which is usually the challenge with grilling with lean proteins.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Let me tell you.
So this keeps it off the grill, which is nice. And then you also get this nice kind of bright, tangy flavor that you wouldn't get from a wood plank. You also don't have to soak fruit before using, unlike you do with a wood plank. And the other nutritional benefit, there's some vitamin C in pineapple. And so as you can see, I'm going to be also grilling some slices so we have it on the side, because we're not going to eat the pineapple that we're using to plank with. We're going to eat these slices. And vitamin C, which is in any citrus, for one, vitamin C helps absorb iron. So when you use vitamin C with grilling, like in marinades, or eating it on the side, it helps absorb the iron that's in the meat.
Wow.
Yeah.
You did put some stuff down on the grill top here.
Yes.
We should note, you're like, well, why are you guys outside actually grilling?
Yes.
Well, the weather didn't really hold out today, but this is something you can do inside with this cast iron top here, so makes it good. But back in there, you did put down some oil to get started. I think that's always a trouble or a question I would ask is, how much is too much oil when you're trying to use it as this base?
Yeah, well, when you're doing, salmon's a little bit of a fattier cut, so the oil's just in the marinade. It's not, I don't have to put it down at the base. Just enough, just so it doesn't stick. Okay, so it depends on your grilling, if you're using a pan like this or if you're using an actual grill outside, just enough so it doesn't stick. So if it is easier, also you can always use the spray kind, because sometimes it might be, or put the oil directly on the fruit if you're grilling on an outdoor grill.
Gotcha.
So at this point, you would kind of, again, this is the pineapple that we're using for eating afterwards. So I'm just going to add a little bit of marinade. You can tell it's kind of sputtering. I'm going to add a little bit of the marinade just to give it a little bit more flavor. And then I'm also about 10 minutes into the salmon cooking, you're going to also add some of the marinade back to the salmon. Okay.
And you're using the marinade that for both the pineapple here and the salmon that you use to marinate the salmon overnight. Is this an overnight marinade, or how long do you need to do that?
Not too long, just while you get all of the rest of your ingredients together, so maybe 20 minutes or so. Whenever you put citrus in a marinade, you don't want it to actually marinate too long, otherwise it makes your meat kind of gray.
Ooh.
So it kind of denatures the protein a little bit too much.
Interesting. Yeah. Well, I just answered the question that I've been doing wrong for a long time. So
you don't want gray meat.
No gray meat. I understand.
Yes.
Yeah. So any other tasks here? Why this cooks up?
No. So if we were out on the grill, we would kind of probably put the lid down just to kind of help cook the meat a little bit more, and then you would cook the pineapple on the side, and then we'll show it when it's done and plated.
Fantastic.
Yeah. So we are ready to plate. We did about 15 minutes for the salmon, and this is all ready to go. And like I had mentioned, we're not necessarily going to eat the salmon, the pineapple that we're using for the plank. And so we're going to set the salmon off to the side here, and we're going to serve it with one of our freshly grilled pineapple pieces, just like that.
All right, Andrea, we've got the salmon, which turned out amazing. But switching over to pouches.
Yes.
Pouches, super simple. Something not only can you bake, but we can put on the grill.
Yes.
Show us how easy this is.
Yes. So pouches are another great way to do lean protein. So I'm going to do a Greek chicken variety. So I have a small chicken breast. You do want anything you put into a pouch to be kind of either thinner or smaller cut. I'm putting some potatoes on here, and you can see I cut these very, very thin.
I was going to say, this isn't Jeremy cutting, because they would have been more of a core.
They almost look like potato chips, yeah.
Exactly.
So anything the general rule is anything that's hard, more thicker, you want to cut thinner. because it's, again, it's not going to have the direct heat as you would if you were putting it directly on a cooking surface, okay?
They'll cook faster too, trust me.
Yes. So these are zucchini. So again, I have these nice and thin as well. I'm taking my seasoning and I'm gonna sprinkle it over just like this. This is nice to have kind of all laid out, and then everyone in the family can make their own, which is kind of nice, add their own vegetables, or just even the process of making their own might be enjoyable for kids or anybody really. And then this is my dressing that I'm adding right on top. So then as you can see, I have this all ready to go. I'm gonna take my foil piece, fold it all the way over the ingredients, and then basically in half. This is a 12 by 12 square. And then I'm going to pinch it, kind of like if you were making a calzone. Kind of pinch it like this to seal it. These 2 pouches that we're making, we're gonna put these in the oven, but you could grill this. You would place this just right on the grill, just like that, and then that one's all ready to go.
How long do you think that one's going to take to cook?
The one with the chicken's going to take about 30-35 minutes. You're doing seafood, which is going to be a lot quicker, okay?
When you signed me up, we got you on board with this. I didn't know that I'd actually have to do something, let me not screw this up.
Yeah, so I had the ingredients all laid out for you. The sausage there, you're doing a Cajun shrimp. One is what you're doing. So that's going to be cooked andouille sausage. So you're going to lay that out.
I love andouille sausage.
And then as you can see, the vegetables are also, I have them cut quite small. There's a small dice. So that's zucchini as well, and red pepper and corn. So you're going to add those.
Yeah, I like the idea about doing this with your kids. I think that's a really great idea to get them involved, put out their favorite ingredients, and add it in.
Yeah.
All right, moving on to the peppers here.
And then sometimes when they just add the ingredients themselves, they're more likely to try it because it's not as weird, because they've touched it and they've tried it. And if they're edible ingredients when they're raw, you can always have them taste it when it's raw, and sometimes that helps too.
Absolutely. A little bit of corn here.
Yep, a little bit of corn. And then we're gonna add a little bit of moisture. So that's what the other 2 ingredients are. We're gonna add a little bit of oil because we're using shrimp. There's gonna be some fat coming from the sausage, but the shrimp are quite lean. So we're gonna use a little bit of oil. That's just a high heat oil that happens to be grapeseed oil. And then we're gonna use some white wine for moisture, and that'll steam the vegetables. And then you can sprinkle, that's just parsley, you can sprinkle on top. And our seasoning is in the shrimp. So I marinated that seasoning a little bit for you. It's just salt, pepper, and Cajun seasoning. So you can just pick it right up and then set it right on top.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
These look amazing.
And then they'll kind of cook, and then the juices for the shrimp will kind of go into the ingredients as well, which is nice. And then what you want to do is just kind of like squish it all together, kind of in the middle a little bit, just so you can get a nice good edge with your pouch. There you go. And then fold it right over. And then if you have it like that, that's fine. Just fold the bottom part up, just like that. Perfect. And then crimp the sides.
I like the calzone, so this is works really well.
And then if you can, try to kind of squeeze it from the edges a little bit. If you can imagine, we're not putting a vent in it because we want it to steam, right? So just kind of like squish it a little bit so you get some air that kind of there, then the air can kind of circulate. Yeah, while it's cooking. So you can go ahead and put that right, because we are putting these on the in the oven. And then the last one we're doing is I wanted to show you, you can also use parchment paper. So this is kind of a neat little trick.
Yeah, I've not ever seen this done before, so this is interesting.
I did these with a kids cooking class and they loved it. So we made the parchment paper, again a 12 by 12 square, but this case we put it into a heart shape. And then we take the salmon, put the salmon right close to the edge there. And this one is super simple. This one is some fresh herb. This happens to be parsley, the same that we used over there. I have some dill and salt and pepper, and I'm just gonna add that whole thing on there to season. And then I'm gonna add some fresh lemon. I'm gonna add some butter. Let that kind of cook down in there. And this is some white wine. And you do not have to necessarily use wine. You could use vegetable broth if you wanted to. You could even just use water. So I've even had people, they'll just take an ice cube and stick an ice cube.
Oh, that's not a bad idea.
Because you're just using it for the moisture, right? So we're gonna do just like we did with the foil. We're gonna bring this over, and then we're gonna close up this pouch just like so, just so those juices don't come out during the cooking process, and so we get kind of a nice seal there. Okay, and then I'm going to add this to our sheet pan, and we are going to pop these in the oven. Both seafood is a little bit quicker than chicken, so about 15 minutes or so.
Gotcha. And temperature on that?
425.
Love it.
Okay, so it's been about 15 minutes. As I mentioned, if you're doing seafood, it cooks a bit quicker than if you were doing poultry. Our pouches are done. We sealed them correctly. There's no juices all over the pan, so that's a very good sign.
I was a little bit worried.
Yes.
I'm a little bit worried there.
So just for safety, I'm going to kind of partially cut it, and then just not knowing how steamy it's going to be. We want it to be steaming some, right? I just don't want to get burned.
Well, there
so
it
I'll
is.
open. This is yours. Ooh, the shrimp is perfectly cooked.
Wow.
So this one, any of these with the juices, you may want to open them up over a bowl or a shallow kind of bowl. Look at that. Beautiful job.
It's like I'm a natural.
And then this is my salmon parchment paper one. So now parchment paper is meant for the oven.
I was going to say,
it's paper,
I hope you know not
yes.
to put it in the grill, but
Yes.
since we are talking grilling today.
Yeah, so it's safe for the oven. And then we have it so it's all nicely seasoned and cooked as well. You can see the steam, ready to dig in.
Well, Andrea, thank you so much for prepping everything today.
You're welcome.
These are really simple things. Trust me, when I say simple, I know simple because I prefer it that way. But these are easy things to do, and as we were talking, love to get the kids involved in this too. As you said, you do with some cooking classes. Come on down, say hi to Andrea, and we'll look forward to checking in with you real soon on some more great tips. Appreciate
Sounds great.
it.
You're welcome.
All right, we'll take a quick break. You are watching Talking Fitchburg.
You made her college years possible, opening that education savings account when she was little, spearheading campus tours, and deciphering financial aid. If you can ace planning for college, you can do it for retirement. Get on track with tips at aceyourretirement.org.
Hey, Hard, what's this? That's my resignation letter. You're resigning? Why? Because you're constantly ignoring me, you're half as active as you used to be, and you get stuff like this. You've been putting me under a lot of pressure lately. That's why I'm ready to quit. I forgot. I'll do better. Please. Don't quit on me, okay? But remember, it's not what you say, it's what you do.
Listen to your heart. Don't let it quit on you.
Let's go for a walk.
Uncontrolled high blood pressure could lead to a stroke, heart attack, or death. Get yours to a healthy range before it's too late.
Business Before 9 is a monthly professional development series from the Fitchburg Chamber of Commerce, providing you with valuable information on growing your business. Stay up to date on the latest business trends and ideas. Business Before 9, weekdays on F2, the community channel.
Planning the right amount of food is hard. The Guestimator makes it easy. Just tell it who's coming and what's for dinner. Then it tells you how much to make. And yes, it even plans for leftovers. Try it at savethefood.com.
Welcome back into Talking Fitchburg. Wrapping up the show for today, I want to thank Andrea from Hy-Vee, our dietitian, helping us out with some great recipes. You guys, you got to try the food. It's amazing. Try it at home. It's easy. And I even know that our assistant manager, Scott, has already cooked up one of the pouches. In fact, I believe he cooked up the chicken pouch. Don't quote me on that, but they're really good. Trust me, you want to try that, especially when you're looking for alternative for food. I'm just telling you. All right, here's how you can stay connected to Fact TV. It's fun, it's easy, and it's Andrew's favorite. It's free. Yeah. Check us out on Facebook, YouTube, Apple TV, Roku, and more. Have a great day, everybody. We'll see you back here tomorrow.